Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of November 14th. We're just going to jump right in here, Aquarius, and we are going to see what is going on for you in your current general energies. You have this first quarter moon in Cancer, which says push through any insecurities. And you also have this new moon in Gemini that says think it through. So some of you could be like, like facing some fears. That came up for a lot of people. So, it could just be like a collective energy that, people are kind of looking at things that maybe they're afraid to do or that are holding them back from what they truly want in life. And a lot of you could be kind of like, looking at those things. Wouldn't surprise me after that eclipse that we had in Taurus. I think all this Taurus energy that we've been experiencing now since Uranus has been in Taurus is all about values and like what is valuable to you in your life, like what experiences. There you go. I've been awake for hours, Aquarius, but what I would say is, it's like what things do you value in your life? What experiences, relationships, what values do you find in the way that you make money? All that other stuff. So that's what this looks like to me, but this actually looks like a really nice reading, a lot of good stuff going on. So in your first row, you have the star, you, showing up, the Seven of Pentacles, and you have the Page of Pentacles here. And, what's interesting is that there's been like a lot of communication for a lot of people. So if you're like hoping or waiting for communication, this could be communication coming in for you. It could be like to clean up a situation as well. Literally, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have the clean it up card. Sorry, I have something in my eye. And you have the clean it up card, also the mending card, and the justice card. So I feel for some of you, it's kind of like you could be cleaning up a situation from the past, or you could just be kind of like balancing out the karma. Again, as I always say, you don't even have to do this like literally. I'm not suggesting that you're like communicating with a person. You could be fixing things inside of yourself that kind of do that. You know what I mean? It's like, I think sometimes maybe we date a person, it points out, or brings up some sort of insecurity inside of us, but by fixing it, right, then we are correcting the karma. So I'm not even saying that you have to communicate with anyone or anything like that. This could just be something that you're doing on your own. We even see that right here with the star card. So the star card is you, your energy, Aquarius, puts you in a position of power and strength. There's definitely some sort of wish that you're getting here because you have the star to the Four of Wands down to the Magician. So if there are things that you're hoping for or things that you have been wishing to manifest in your life, then I feel like you are. That Four of Wands is, of course, could represent marriage, but it really could be bringing something down to earth or like kind of committing to something. And here's the thing, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles kind of tells me that maybe you're more sure of something. Those are the words that I'm getting. That's not really what the Seven of Pentacles means, but he's like looking at those Seven Pentacles. He's like, is the juice worth the squeeze? As I always say. And if you don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze in a situation, then I would look into the Justice card. It's like if you put energy, I keep saying it. The simplest thing right now is to follow the rules of justice. If you put energy into something, do you get energy back? If the answer is yes, then keep going. If the answer is no, then stop. Then you need to move on to something new in all areas of your life. We're not just talking about like love or just business or, any of that. I would say in every single thing that you do, those are the rules that I would follow. For some of you, you could definitely be getting karma here, like good karma for something that happened. It was probably like a never-ending cycle. You have this wheel card at the end. With the star card, you have this flattery card. You're definitely more sure of what you want. See, here's the thing about this card is that, it's Gemini, number one, but the heads are facing here in like two opposite directions, but they're facing together up here in their head, and there's growth coming out of it. And it's kind of like popping into my head that some of you, I feel it's like you're much more certain of yourself, and especially with the Four of Cups as well. Four Cups can represent thinking the grass is greener on the other side. So some of you could have been dealing with a person who maybe that's what they thought, the grass is greener on the other side. And I don't think it's worked out for them, but I don't even think you're thinking about the past. I think you're thinking about investing in situations that invest in you. I also feel like something was proven to you recently, or maybe you got some information like something was proven to you. I don't know. That's what's popping into my head. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have this influence card. I feel like this comes up for you a lot. You're like the only sign who gets this card. I would definitely be careful of, people in your life influencing your relationships. I'm pretty sure I said this to you recently in a reading that, unless I'm willing to invite someone in my bedroom, I don't take advice from them about my relationships, right? So what I would say here is maybe your relationships have been influenced by other people getting involved in your relationships. And I feel like some of you are kind of realizing, if that's happening to you, as in, people are influencing you, I feel like you're realizing that it doesn't help you at all. And if it's happening to the people you deal with, I feel like you're discovering different types. I feel like you're discovering how to find people who are more confident in themselves. Basically, people who have a North Star, right? Having a North Star, it's like people who have a North Star, the star card, they work towards something and nothing can shake them. Nothing can get them off their path. So, I feel like you're getting better at maybe seeing that in people. And this is great. I'm not just talking about love here either. This is great for business, for hiring people, for getting jobs. It's like when we go get a job, I think like having a boss that actually knows where the business is going and like what they want to accomplish and all that other stuff, it's just gonna make you more successful, right? So I feel like being able to spot that is definitely a skill. And that seems to be a skill that you're picking up on. With the Page of Pentacles, you have this affair card. Again, this card, it doesn't necessarily represent cheating. I do feel like some of you have dealt with that, again, because we have the Justice card here. You have this Wheel card, so I'm wondering if some of you were dealing with like a karmic situation. But for the most part, this is like a positive love affair, this card. So if you're looking for love, I feel like there could be new love coming in for you. And the Page of Pentacles is always my card of someone new. And it could be a Leo if you're looking for love, is what I'm trying to say. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this Ancient Oak Spirit, you have the Strength card, and you also have the Storm Spirit, which has Chaos on it. Everyone's had the Tower. That Chaos card kind of reminds me of the Tower, but look, it's like you have the Strength card there, the Strength in this deck. It's almost like something can't shake you this week. As I've said to everyone else, like pretty much no one has actually had a message of anything unexpected coming in. So I don't really feel there's anything unexpected going on this week. Maybe it kind of like, as I've said to other people, if there is something unexpected going on, I feel it's probably globally, not in our personal lives. So I really don't feel anything unexpected coming in for you here. But what I would say is I feel like you're a little bit unshakable right now in a good way. Like I kind of feel that you are very strong no matter what's going on around you. You have the Four Cups, the Four Wands, and the Four Pentacles. 444. I didn't even realize that when I put those cards down. So 444 could be very important to you. I would also say that, for some of you, this to me is like the need to get moving. I feel like I said this to you again recently. But Four Pentacles, holding on too tightly to the past. Four Cups, not making any moves, needing to kind of like move forward in some way. Needing to get going. I don't really necessarily like this because the Four Cups, it's like no movement. And, I feel like there needs to be movement. I feel like you need to move forward towards something new with this Four Cups. It's like he's just sitting here waiting. And then you have the Four Pentacles, like sitting here waiting. So I would say, what are you waiting for here? And even, here's the thing, is if we go like this, Four Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, to the Knight of Cups. It's almost like some of you have a dream or something that is a dream, because Knight of Cups, he's normally looking into that cup and he's like dreaming of something like his future life, or he's dreaming of, some sort of ideal situation, whatever it may be. And, I kind of feel like you need to get moving is what I would say. You have the Four Wands here as well. Four Wands is a card of commitment. I feel like once you commit to something, you're going to be successful. I'm wondering if some of you are wondering like what you should commit to, or like should you make a decision, which we talk about every single reading that I do for you, Aquarius. And it's like, I think it's better to commit to something and be wrong, because it's like, again, you can live in the land of probability all day long, but, I like to live in possibility. So, I kind of feel you need to see what's possible, not what's probable. You could be entering into situations where it's like maybe on paper it doesn't make sense, but if you live in the land of it's possible because I can imagine it, then you're going to be successful. And that's all. I think you need to know that is what I would say. Can we get more details on this? With the Four Cups, you have the Quarrel card. You're fighting with yourself over something here, Aquarius. Again, if you can dream it, you can have it. Plain and simple. I truly believe that. I've proven it to myself multiple times. I mean, and what I would say here is it's free. So people always, like to question me, but I'm always like, okay, but what? Instead of like questioning it, why don't you just try it? It's free. Doesn't cost anything except for, your own effort, right? So what I would say here is if you can imagine something, even if it doesn't make sense on paper, that's probability. That's not possibility. Then, I feel like you can have it. with the Four of Wands, you just need to assert yourself in a situation. Like I said, I really kind of don't get any of the typical Four of Wands energy on the Four of Wands. I just get commitment. Four of Wands is about like really needing to commit to something, really needing to, dig in. And I feel that's what this assertion card is saying. The assertion card also has a dragon on it. Dragons represent fears. So I do feel like you have to face some fears. With the Four of Pentacles, you have this discovery card. It's like you need to discover something. Four of Pentacles, he's sitting where he's always been. This, to me, says that there's a lot of excitement. There could be a lot of abundance and success and like all sorts of good things in new opportunities. So, don't be afraid of new opportunities. Don't be afraid to open up to new things here, Aquarius, because, again, I feel like there's a lot of success in the area of the new, doing something new, but also moving towards a dream. I'm almost wondering, like, if this reading is saying with that influence card as well, that some of you have some dreams, but maybe people are crapping on your dreams and saying, oh, it's not possible, that requires money and blah, 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 blah. I feel like if you're allowing people to influence you, then it's going to prevent you from getting your Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups, again, does not have to be love. It can be your dream life. He's normally looking into that cup. He's standing in front of a river, but he's in the desert, so he doesn't think he has what he needs. But he does. If he just planted seeds by that river, even though he's in the desert, it doesn't matter. They would still grow because there's water right there. So it's like you have the water, you have the seeds, but you just need to smack those two things together here, Aquarius. Next, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have this mending card and this clean it up card. Again, I feel like you could be just cleaning up your vibration or kind of like healing something. For some of you, I'm wondering if it's like a breakup because of everything that's going on here. But, are you doing this with this person, with, the past person? I would say no. I kind of get the feelings of maybe fixing things inside of yourself. And again, I'm not saying you're broken or anything like that, but, it's like, again, I think we all go through these, breakups or separations, and we need to look at maybe the things that we did or, things that were pointed out to us during the relationship. And if we fix those things, then we get to heal and we level up, right? We get to go to the next level and hopefully find a better person. And I kind of feel like that's what's going on here. It's like you're kind of looking at the things you need to heal inside of yourself, and by healing them, I feel like you're bringing in much better opportunities. I mean, your last row here is crazy. I mean, Knight of Cups, Lovers, Hierophant, definitely like a knight in shining armor coming in for you that could lead to marriage. You have the Justice card, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Magician. Again, the Justice card I feel is talking about balance. I kind of feel like a little bit of, I always think of like royalty with the Justice card. There's this purple back here, and purple in the tarot represents like royalty energy. So I feel like you kind of are realizing your true power with this Justice card, what you bring to the table, so to speak. I also feel like you're trying to be more neutral as well. I kind of feel maybe that's like a little bit of a difference, is that now I feel like you are kind of looking at both sides. Maybe in past relationships or even when you were younger, maybe you would always blame the other person. We all do it, right? But I feel like you're kind of like balancing that. You're like looking at both sides. You're looking at both things that have gone on in a situation. It's kind of interesting as well, because I feel like if you're dealing with a past person, it's like, look at this, not facing each other, facing each other, facing each other. I don't know why that's standing out to me, other than the fact that, like, I feel like you could be overcoming things, but this person that you've dealt with in the past is not overcoming things. You also have the Knight of Pentacles. It's almost like you've been doing some weeding in your life. I always say normally that he isn't making any moves. He's the only knight that isn't moving. He's being too cautious, and he needs to plant seeds in these fields. But I kind of feel more preparation energy, like you've been weeding, or you will be, because this is what's coming towards you. So this could be the energy that you're going to be working on from like now until the end of the year, is that like it could be like more of a weeding energy. You're getting rid of all the weeds in your life. And I feel like this is leading to a lot more success because, it's like you're cutting out the crap. You're kind of getting down to dirt so that you can plant new seeds, so that you can have new growth. And that's what I feel here. You also have the Magician. The Magician is about a new beginning. I feel some of you are going to be like unrecognizable in the future, and I don't mean that in like a drama clickbait kind of way. I mean that in like you're just growing significantly. I always pull the card that he's pointing to, by the way, and so you can't see it, but I'm assuming he's pointing to the bottom deck. So you have this first quarter moon in Scorpio. It says release your blocks. Everything that we're talking about right now. I feel like you need to release the things that have been holding you back. And again, I think this is happening now because it's like you're being honest with yourself about the things that are holding you back. But again, I feel like you are going to be kind of like unrecognizable to the people in your life in the future, almost because of the significant changes that you're making right now. You have this negotiation card popping up here. I don't like this right now. I would say no negotiation. I get more of like a need to be all or nothing for you, Aquarius. I wouldn't be trying to like think like, how do I please this person in my life? How do I please this person in my life? That's how intuitively I'm feeling about that negotiation card. I feel like it's saying like, no, put yourself first and get what you want. It's time to be like a little bit greedy for you. With the Justice card, you have this risk card. I'm wondering if you're taking a risk. Like, again, if this is a breakup or a separation, I feel like maybe this person feels like they can pull you right back or whatever, but I feel like you're like, no, I'm gone. Like, I feel like you're miles and miles away. It's kind of funny because, it's like there's this tree here, and it reminds me of the Three of Pentacles, obviously, because there's like 3 pentacles on it. And intuitively, I'm getting a story here that maybe some of you have dealt with a person where it's like they could always find you in the same spot. It's like I feel like they could always find you under this tree, if that makes sense. But now you're not here. I feel like you're gone. I feel like you are so far gone, it's not even funny. And like they could search for the next 100 years and never find you because I feel like you're gone. You've checked out of a situation here, is what I'm getting. For those of you not looking for love, I am getting like 3 Pentacles energy. So if you're working on a business, a career, I would focus on quality. I think this is true for everyone. I keep encouraging everyone. Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus is quality. It rewards quality. So if you have a business, a job, whatever, make sure you're doing quality work. That's going to stand out 10 times more than quantity, right? Especially right now. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have this vision card. I feel like you need to trust your vision and trust your intuition. Here, this is the Sun in Pisces, so very intuitive energy. You also have the Sun in Aries. So some of you could be dealing with like a cusp sign person. They could be on the cusp between Aries and Pisces. They could be an Aries, they could be a Pisces. Doesn't matter. So if you're looking for love, I definitely feel it could be one of these 2 signs. It could be any sign. This is a general reading. But what I feel is more important on that card is crystal clear vision. Almost every single person has had that card, the vision card, and it's like nothing else should matter to you. I always talk about Neptune and Pisces because my problem with Neptune and Pisces is normally maybe we'd have like a certain milestone, like if we're working towards a goal, maybe there's like something that happens that's like, yes, you're moving in the right direction. I think that Neptune and Pisces kind of makes it a little bit more cloudy, a little bit more murky, right? Where it's like you're not sure if you're moving in the right direction. You're not sure if you're actually going to accomplish what you want to accomplish because like some of those milestones are gone, or maybe they're just way the hell out there. Maybe they're farther away. And again, you have the star, which is all about having a North Star. I think as long as you have a reason why you're doing things, and if you have a goal to work towards, you're going to be very successful in whatever you're doing. With the Magician, you have this extremism card. I would be careful of extremism, extreme energy for the next forever is what I would say. After Neptune and Pisces, we have Neptune moving into Aries. Neptune moving into Aries at the end of 2025, basically. Into 2026. And Neptune and Aries is like extremism. It's like, I think we'll see, during Neptune, mark my words, during Neptune and Aries, we'll probably see like a cult that, gets, that does something crazy, I'm sure. Or, it could be like the rise of gurus as well. I always tell people, like, be very careful of gurus over the next, like, decade or for the rest of your life, really. Because, it's like Neptune and Aries wants us to find our own answers. It's basically like you've been learning how to find your own answers with Neptune and Pisces through confusion. It's like, what do I truly want? Neptune moves into Aries, and it's like, okay, are you going to fall for the same old tricks again where someone tells you what you want, right? I mean, that's Chris's crappy astrology, I know, but still, I would pay attention to that, right? Is the answers are inside of you. They're not in someone else. So I would be careful of extremes. So the problem with Neptune and Aries, again, I know it's not here yet. It doesn't matter. I think we're going to be dealing with extreme energy for a very long time, but extremes can be very attractive. Why do you think people fall for crypto scams, for example, right? Because it's like people see the extremes in crypto, like, oh my God, I can make all this money overnight. So then someone's like, I'll make you $1 million. They fall for the scam, So I always tell people, put your thinking cap on. Does it make logical sense? Probably not, right? And pay attention to those things. Next, what are we doing? Oh, yeah, messages from your future self. You have this turtle. It says slowness and protection. Exactly what I'm saying. Again, speaking of scams, it's like no get-rich-quick schemes right now. If someone promises that they can make you $1 billion overnight, not going to happen. Again, Uranus and Taurus is get rich slow. But here's the thing. People are just like, I don't want to get rich slow. I'm like, yeah, but are you rich right now? Probably not. And if you're not, guess what? If you get rich slow, then you'll have it for the rest of your life. The problem with get rich quick under Uranus and Taurus is it's like, no, you have to build something permanent. You have to build something that's going to last a lifetime. So I think everyone truly has a great opportunity to become financially independent. Taurus wants us to be free. Taurus wants freedom, right? And what I would say here is that, if you start building now, you will have something that lasts a lifetime. You have this wheel. It says endings and beginnings. Definitely some sort of ending, I feel, for some of you. So it's like someone took a risk, I feel, and that could have brought an ending to a relationship. But there's clearly, in death, there is life. And here you go. You have the Knight of Cups, the Lovers, and the Hierophant. Definitely new love coming in for you here. The Knight of Cups is like a knight in shining armor. So if you want love, this could be someone who just, kind of leaves you breathless, right? Really good, solid connection. Someone that you're interested in. And, I'm getting like experience here. So I feel like if you're attracting a person, I feel like they have experience. That's really all that's popping into my head, which is interesting. But that kind of gives me the vibes of, like, if they have a job, for example, I feel like they're probably a manager or, a leader in some way, because I like experience is popping into my head significantly here. I also feel like it's someone who's not afraid to put the work in, so that will probably stand out to you as well. Again, for all of you, even if you don't want love, what I would say is that Knight of Cups is some sort of dream that you have. You have the Lovers here. The Lovers is, of course, about love, so definitely could be new love. But I also feel for some of you, you need to make sure, again, and other people have had this as well, that the Lovers can represent kind of like your morals and ethics. Same thing with the Hierophant, because Hierophant is like traditional values, so not exactly the same, but kind of the same. And I feel like you need to look at the things that you're doing and saying, like, am I creating something valuable? Does this match up with my morals, my ethics, my beliefs, my values with the Hierophant as well? So it's like, again, back to the get rich quick thing. It's like if you're doing something that's like isn't valuable, it's not going to work. You're probably not going to want to do it either. So, whatever you're working on in life, I would make sure that there's something, that it really connects to your values, like your core, and that's what I'd be doing here. You also have the Hierophant. So again, if you want love, marriage, definitely marriage potential here. Could be coming in the future. You have a lot here about commitment, I would say. And so and this is outside of love. So I kind of feel like this reading is encouraging you to commit to one of your ideas, like in work, in business, and whatever it is that you do. Even if you're retired, maybe you have an idea to like start a pet rescue or do something else. And I feel like this is saying, if you commit to it, you're going to be successful. You have with the Knight of Cups, you have the Exaltation card. This is the Moon in Taurus. There was a reason I was talking a lot about Taurus. But I feel for a lot of you that this relationship, if it's a relationship coming in for you, it is like divinely guided. If it's not a relationship and it's just a dream, again, same thing. I feel it's kind of like been guided into your life. With the Lovers, you have the Egotism card. Yeah, a lot of people have been getting this right now. And again, part of me wonders, like Jupiter is going to be moving into Aries at the end of the year as well. Personally, I actually like Jupiter in Aries. I think it's going to be pretty much not just only good for Aries, but I think it's going to be good for everyone. It's going to, kind of give us the opportunity to expand out into the world. Aries is the first house, right? So it's going to expand presentation, the things that we present to the world. So if we want love, right, we're always presenting ourselves to people, whether we realize it or not, right? And, if you're making any changes to yourself with the Magician, you could be getting a lot of attention. But same thing in work, in business, and everything else that we do. So that's the good side. I think the bad side, and I also think it could help us get started on things as well. Like if we have dreams that we want to get working on, I think it could help people get moving. The bad side is ego issues, So I would be careful of people who come in who have an ego issue. My other problem with this is just everything else that's going on is that, this is why I encourage people to focus on justice, because, it's like there could be people who are actually good. Maybe they have an ego, but, again, it's kind of like, can they back it up? To me, if you got it, flaunt it, right? And so if you meet a person, maybe they seem like they have an ego, but maybe they have the goods to back it up. And in that case, is it really ego, or are they just who they are, right? And that's what I'd say here. So, kind of think about it. With the Hierophant, you have this ostentation card. It's funny that I just said that, because literally this card is about showing off. But it's like one person is action. This is like fake down here. So it's like, I feel a lot of you could have many situations coming up. I'm getting over the next 12 years for some reason. But, maybe you can shortcut that lesson now by listening to this and kind of learn how to tell the difference between like words and actions. And this goes for not just people, but also like businesses, for example. It's like sometimes I think we, get on board with a business, but it's like, do their actions match up with their mission statement? Do they do things that they're supposed to be doing? So all areas of your life is like figuring out value, and that's definitely popping into my head there. But there you go, Aquarius. Blah, blah, blah. I'm all tongue tied today. We're going to do 3 cards now. I'm only going to answer one question. So if you have a question, great. Feel free to pause the reading. If you don't have a question, that's fine too. I'm going to put all 3 cards together as kind of like a personalish reading. So feel free to pause now because I'm going to start reading the cards. You have the Page of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Two of Swords. For some of you, this is definitely love. I'm wondering if you're like learning how to see the value in love is kind of what's popping into my head. For some of you, I don't mean that for all of you, but for some of you, it's like maybe you've gotten in situations where you thought something was valuable and it wasn't, and maybe you got out of situations that were valuable and you regret it. And again, I don't think we should have regrets, right? We do these things as long as if we look at the situations that we left or we feel like we regret, as long as we look at those situations and say, okay, like I screwed up, I missed out on this opportunity, but there are plenty of opportunities in life, right? I don't think we should regret things because there's going to be another person who's just as good as maybe someone you regret leaving or whatever. But, I would look at the situation and say, what did I learn? What kind of gold did I get out of the situation so that I don't make the same mistake again? It's like things are being pointed out to you in your reading. I don't know why your reading is triggering. Is what I feel like saying to you, Aquarius. It's like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Like, that's like the things that are popping into my head. But it's not like for bad reasons. And, I feel like it's for personal growth and all this other good stuff. I also feel this could be new love coming in for you. There's some sort of obstacle with that Two of Swords. Kind of interesting because pretty much everyone who has had love, if you want it, has had some sort of obstacle at the end of the year here. So many retrogrades. We have Mercury going retrograde at the end of the year as well. So, I don't know, just wouldn't surprise me if there were some obstacles or challenges to getting into something. But this is a pretty interesting reading here, Aquarius. So, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.